Day one's going to be you're naked in front of people. It's going to be on TV. There's loads of different things going through your head. Survival as well. You're going to be on your own.
What about your mum? She's like, yeah, out there showing your bum,
Initially, when I told family about it, obviously I had to explain to them the naked part. They just didn't get it. A lot of people don't get it. They say, why are you naked? But it's all about survival. It makes it 10 times harder to complete tasks, to survive in general. So once I explained it to them, they're like, all right, okay. And then I tell them that it's going to get blood and you're not really going to see anything. They're fine with it. But it's quite funny when you first bring it up that catching people's reactions, it's quite interesting.
So let's talk about the first journey. Tell us, the highlights of the first show, what it was like, challenges, things that stand out for you.
My first challenge was...
All right. I'm here with Jamie Wildman Frizzel, and we're going to get into some good outdoor stuff today. Naked and Afraid. But first we want to find out the algorithm, man. We want to know what built you, why outdoors? Were you an outdoor kid? What was mom and dad like? Were they the influence? Well, how did that start?
Come back to when I was a little kid. I used to go camping every summer with my family. We'd go to lots of different places and I would see myself in the outdoors quite a lot. And then fast forward to 18, I drew and it didn't really work out. I had to leave. I got injured, so I had to leave. And I saw myself just going into the wild just to kind of just get away from everything, I was a bit upset with how my career had changed and stuff, and I thought going out into the wild helped. So while I was doing that, a lot of people, you should document this, you should show people. Because I was really just keeping it to myself, taking some pictures and showing some people. So I made a YouTube channel with a lot of how-to videos, all to do survival, bushcraft, the outdoors. I got the attention of the Discovery Channel. They ended up contacting me and asking me to be on the show Naked and Afraid. And as soon as I got that, got that offer, I thought, I'm on it really just kind of sent me on that journey through survival, bushcraft, and the outdoors.
So take us on that journey. What is it like? What was did they take you there and then they drop you in there? And what is the preliminary, aspects like? And then what's day one like?
Quite a dragged out process. Especially Naked and Afraid show during COVID times, during the start of COVID. So it was really hard to get everything done in a timely manner. So there's a lot of production, there's a lot of paperwork to fill out, interviews, FaceTime and stuff like that. And then once all that's done, you usually get told where you're going, maybe a couple of weeks before. And then you get sent out there and that's it. And day one's going to be you're naked in front of people. It's going to be on TV. There's loads of different things going through your head. Survival as well. You're going to be on your own or with your partner for 21 days. You've got to survive. There's so many things going through your head and it's hard to keep them all in, but that's the best thing to do, really, just focused and take one step at a time. Then it doesn't really bother me anymore. A lot of the production, this is what they do. They're used to it. And we're all human, do you know what I mean? So it doesn't.
What about your mum? She's like, yeah, out there showing your bum. How about family and friends and all? Saying, what was that like? Trying to tell them this is the show I'm going to do, and this is what it's all about.
Initially, when I told family about it, obviously I had to explain to them the naked part. They just didn't get it. A lot of people don't get it. They say, why are you naked? But it's all about survival. It makes it 10 times harder to complete tasks, to survive in general. So once I explained it to them, they're like, all right, okay. And then I tell them that it's going to get blood and you're not really going to see anything. They're fine with it. But it's quite funny when you first bring it up that catching people's reactions. It's quite interesting.
All right, so let's get into the challenges. You're, the first, because you've been on their show 3 times.
3 times, aye.
Yeah. So let's talk about the first journey. Tell us, the highlights of the first show, what it was like, challenges, things that stand out for you.
My first challenge was, I think it was 2020, and it was in South Africa. I was really excited for this because it's my first challenge. I was ready to make a name for myself, showcase the world what I could do. So there was also a lot of pressure. I was the first ever person in the UK to do a challenge, and I was certainly the first person from Scotland to do a challenge. So there was a lot of pressure, but it was good, and it was a really, really good challenge. At the time, I said it was the worst thing I've ever experienced in my life. But since then, which I'll explain in a minute, I've been through a lot worse since then. But I mean, Africa was great. The sun was shining. It rained some nights, but I mean, that was fine. It was a really, really nice journey. But then, of course, I got back from Africa.
Well, real quick. I want to get I want to get the nitty gritty on this, because there's a big difference between Scotland and Africa. Yeah. Right. So I think Scotland, I think lush green pastures, and I think of Africa. I think of lush green also, depending on where in Africa. But, what were the elements, and what happened? How'd you place, and kind of just take everybody on, kind of like a little bit more of that journey?
Yeah. So Africa is much different from Scotland. Scotland's really, really similar to Canada. We actually share the same mountain region. So you could kind of think about it in sense of Canada's environment. And then going from that to 30, 40 degree heat Celsius, blistering sun, just strange animals that you've never seen before. Strange sounds. It is unbelievable. It's just an overwhelming rush of senses. You don't know what's actually happening. You just have to take it all in, see it. It's exciting. It really is. And I don't think words would explain it. You just need to be there. You just need to get dropped off in the middle of the savannah naked to experience what it's like.
Well, sustenance. Let's talk about sustenance. So the first thing that you had to kill and eat, what was that in Africa?
So the first thing that I saw myself eating in Africa was little crabs. They were tiny wee crabs about that size, and I would just find them in the river. There wasn't much, calories in them, but there was something, and I would boil them up and I would eat them, and they were quite decent. It was a nice wee surprise in Africa having some crabs and stuff, so that was good. But I didn't eat much until maybe about day 16, I think it was, or day 17. It was only eating tiny little crabs, as I said. But I ended up finding a bush buck, which is basically a deer.
Yeah.
And it was half eaten by a cheetah. So I took the other half and I sliced it up really thin and smoked it over the fire. Made some jerky, basically.
Yeah.
That was really, really nice. And
would you cut the back straps because you want to get fat? From what I understand, when you're out there, you need fat because your body, because if you have lean protein, that's not good either, right?
No, of course, you need a lot of fat. Fat's energy, and that's what we need at the end of the day. There was a lot of good meat on that. I mean, I got the back strap off. The back strap was pretty lean. There was no fat on it at all, but round about the shoulders and stuff, I was able to get some really nice bits of meat with some fat on it, and it was amazing. Day 16 without eating much, and then you get given basically a steak.
Right.
It is unbelievable.
Pretty good at starting a fire?
Yeah, that's my thing, man. I love starting fires. I wouldn't say I'm a worldwide expert, but I'm pretty good.
Okay. So how'd you place in the first one? I'm not familiar.
Sorry?
How'd you place in the first one? Where'd you place? First episode.
What do you mean place?
The first season of it, with your first try with the whole show. First try.
What, fire?
No, with the whole show. Did you play? I'm not familiar if you won the Naked and Afraid show.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, so it's not really a competition as such. You just you can tap out at any time.
Did you
And
go the
that
full
means,
21 days?
yeah, I went the full
Oh,
21
look,
days.
all right. Wow.
Yeah, so that was in Africa. I went the full 21 days. And it was my first challenge was a bit different. So usually it's just a guy and a girl and they get put somewhere in the world.
Yeah.
But this was a male and a female, and then about 20 mile away there was another male and female. And after day 10 we had to hike and merge and become a tribe almost
Uh,
and complete it to day 21. But my partner tapped out on day 3, so she got sick. So I was alone for about 7 days, and then I met up with the other two, and that guy tapped out the next day. So it was me and the female from the other group, and we made it to the end, 21 days.
yeah. Well, that's winning. So you guys won the, yeah, that,
Yeah.
yeah. So, and then of course they call you back. So you get back. Now, it's interesting when you get back from these shows because everybody's like, like, oh my God, you're skinnier, and what was that like coming back? And also when the show came out, did you get a little bit of stardom in your town? All that. What was that like?
Coming back was nice because I just wanted to get home and see my family as well. So it was a nice feeling. It's strange because that doesn't last very long, like maybe an hour. It was for an hour. You want to get back out. You want to get back out on another challenge. It's such a strange addiction. You just want to keep on going out and doing challenge. But yeah, I got home. It was nice. It was good to see everyone. But of course, I was emailing Discovery and kept saying to them, "Get me back out there. I need another challenge."
Meet the Bolo Pack, the ultimate travel companion that transforms into a hammock, a pop-up tent, and even a cooler. Whether you're hiking, camping, or chilling at the beach, the Bolo Pack has you covered. First up, the Bolo Pack is a sleek, compact backpack, perfect for day trips or long adventures. Need a break? With a simple pull, the Bolo Pack transforms into a relaxing hammock, perfect for catching your breath during hikes. Planning to spend the night? The Bolo Pack also converts into a pop-up tent, giving you shelter wherever you go. And the best part? The Bolo Pack doubles as a cooler, keeping your food and drinks fresh for hours. Let me show you how easy it is to switch between modes. First, the hammock. Just a few simple steps, and you're ready to relax. Next, the pop-up tent for quick shelter setup. And finally, the cooler function, ensuring you stay refreshed on the go. From day hikes to weekend getaways, the Bolo Pack adapts to your needs. Whether you're chilling, camping, or keeping your snacks cool, ready to upgrade your travel game? Get your Bolo Pack today and take your adventures to the next level. Link in the description.
That's great. You just want to keep on going back. And so what was the second challenge? Where was that location?
So I got asked to do an challenge, the Peruvian Amazon jungle, and it was set up. It was 12 of us, and we were all split down into 3, and we had to survive for 40 days, and then on day 40, we want to stay for 20 more days to over complete 60 days in the jungle. So that was that challenge. I said, of course I'm ready. That was maybe 6 that I was straight back.
Cut out a little bit there, but so the Peruvian, and how many days did you last in that one?
So that one, I started the challenge, and if people that know me know that the mosquitoes love to bite me. Some people they don't bite, but me they just love. And so they started pretty bad. And on day the bites to the point where my body was going into shock. So my jaw was locking shut, and I couldn't speak. I couldn't drink water. I couldn't put anything in my mouth. I started going a bit. It was a bad situation, and so I went to hospital. I left on day 2 at the hospital to see what they could do for me, And so yeah, that was unfortunate. Only lasted to day 2. Really upsetting happened, and I feel like if it any longer, anything could have happened.
Right.
They were saying that I could have went into a coma at some point. If your body's in shock for that long, it can just turn off.
How many bites do you think that you had on your body? How many bites do you think you had on your body?
Do you know something? I'll try and find a picture of it. Because it's very, very interesting. There's no telling how many bites there was. You'll just have to see.
You have yourself. A picture of it in your phone?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, so what I'm looking at here is there is red bites. I mean, it's like you got more bites than not bites on your body. Holy crap. That is like that's insane. I've never seen that many bug bites on a body ever.
It's crazy, isn't it?
And your skin had a weird reaction to it. It was all red. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah. Like 98% of your body, especially the back, is like all red with bites. Crazy. So yeah, any hour you were at one more hour of that and without getting like some type of like, inflammatory in your system or benzoate, whatever they call it. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. So you easily could have died.
Yeah, definitely. I'm glad when I did.
All right. So that makes sense. Now, show number 3. Where was that?
Yeah. So this is it. This is where it all comes together, right? My story. So I failed in the jungle and I went to hospital and I got fixed and I came straight back out the hospital and I phoned Discovery Technique in the jungle. I need the jungle. So they sent me to the Guyana rainforest and this was an own challenge. No, in South America.
Oh, okay.
Guyana, South America, in the rainforest. So basically,
so as long as I know, I thought that was in Africa. Isn't there a Guyana? There's no Guyana in Africa.
There's a Ghana.
Okay.
Ghana, Ghana.
Oh, okay. I thought Guyana. Okay, so that's South Africa.
No. Yeah, I was in Guyana. There's a place called Ghana that you're maybe getting mixed up.
Right. Yeah.
With. So I went to the jungle in Guyana in the rainforest and back to face the jungle to make sure I complete it. And I was absolutely alone. I didn't have any partner. This was an alone challenge, 21 days. And fortunately, one of my survival items was a mosquito. So I was able to get some protection from the mosquitoes.
Now,
journey into the jungle. And that's how that started.
How long did that last? How long was that challenge? The third one?
So the third challenge was 20 again.
Okay.
Lasted the 21 days.
All right. So now let's talk about sustenance on that one, because that's a little different. What was that? What'd you have to go for that? Because that's all about getting sustenance, finding the water and finding food, basically. And then also, of course, protecting yourself from the elements like the mosquitoes, but food and water, what was that like? How'd you navigate that?
So water was pretty easy. There was a river right beside me. I just fill up my pot and boil it on the fire. Food was pretty good. There was some papaya trees round about. So I would, every now and again, I would go a walk and I would try and find some papaya. Usually they're taken by the monkeys. As soon as one falls in the ground, the monkeys take it. But usually I would get one or two here and there. I found some crabs. They were quite good. I made a trap and I caught 3 catfish. So when I was going into the challenge, I walked past a tree and it was completely hollow. It was just basically the outside of a tree, the inside gone. I don't know if it grows like that or whatever, but I found a hollow log and I made a fish trap out of it. So I managed to catch some catfish, and I was eating pretty good. There was also a tree called the kukrit tree, and it drops nuts from the nuts, a little grub. So if you crack it open, you'll get a little grub in there. So I'm gonna get about 1,000 of those. Those are disgusting.
So through all three of these trips, other than mosquitoes, which is our near-death experience, was there any other predators or any experiences that you had close calls with?
Yeah, so in Guyana, on my last challenge, because I was completely a while to build a shelter, so it took me about 5 days to build a shelter. So for the first 5 days, a little tiny cave, it was just big enough. So my fire was in the cave, and I was just outside the cave trying to stay warm. And I was just sitting there one night, and I heard a growling noise coming from the tree line. So I turned around, and I saw two glowing eyes through the darkness. So I got my diary cam and I turned the night vision on, and I had a look, and it was a jaguar sitting at the tree line staring right at me. And it was so close. It must have been from me to this back wall, just a little bit further than that. It was really, really close. And so I really just sat there and enjoyed the moment. I picked up my machete and I was ready to go if need be, but I just enjoyed the moment, and filmed the whole thing. It was on TV.
As we speak right now, I see that you have a hatchet right behind you. Did you had to use that hatchet?
That spent 60 days in the Peruvian Amazon, because that was the hatchet that I took into the Amazon jungle with me.
Yeah.
And obviously I had to leave with my partners, and it made the whole 60 days.
Wow. Yeah, you got a lot of gear behind you there. Now, where are you at today?
Yeah.
What's going on with your life and your career? What are you doing?
So right now, I mostly do TV appearances. So I do extra work, and things like that, and photo shoots and stuff. And then, of course, if Discovery need me to do things, then I'll go and do that. So I'm bouncing about, doing a bit of TV work here and there. I'm really just trying to make a break for it, and trying to become a household name, become mainstream, because this is what I do. This is what I want to do for my life. So yeah, that's where I am right now. I quit my job. I used to be a lifeguard months ago to pursue this career. So that's what I'm going through right now.
And what's the big goal, as far as the long-term view of what you want?
I'd love to make it to Hollywood, be in a big blockbuster film in LA, become a movie star, something like that. That's the top end. That's where I want to be. See what happens. But I'm very, very ambitious, and the sky's the limit at this point.
I love it. Hey, look, you know what? You got your young guy, you got good look about you, and I've worked in the film industry, and I'll tell you, that if you have the tenacity that you had in these challenges, then you're keep up. You're going to need to, Hollywood is a jungle, and you can navigate yourself the same way. You got a great shot, and as long as your passion's there too, and it looks like you're on your way. So, great stories. Thank you very much for sharing. Tell everybody how they could find out more about you.
Yeah, so if you're online, you can just Google Wildman Frizzel, or you can get me on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, same handle, Wildman Frizzel, and I'm on there. You can follow me, you can watch my journey. I'm always posting every day. So yeah, catch me on that, and it'll be good to have you along for the ride.
That's a name you could definitely own, man, because this guy is a wild man going through what he went through. Congratulations. Great stories. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Michael.
Thanks for joining us. Gear up for your next adventure and head over to Bolotor.com to check out the amazing Bolo Pack and their other innovative outdoor gear. Catch you next time.